it's Kay and welcome to another episode on the Immigration People channel. Today, we are going to do something a little bit different. In fact, today's episode is inspired by you. Why do I say so? It's because you guys have left a lot of amazing comments and questions in our video in the past years. You know me, I always love to answer all the questions pertaining to Singapore immigration matters. I really appreciate them and keep the questions coming. Love you guys! Let's dive right in. And today's first question is from Jisoo4116. Now the question is in Mandarin and I'm going to loosely translate into English. I am Taiwanese and currently my child is studying in a university in Singapore. While studying, can he or she apply for Singapore PR and what is the process? Now, to apply for Singapore PR under the Foreign Student Scheme while your son or your daughter is holding on to a student pass, there are a few eligibility criteria that you have to fulfill. The first is that you have to be living in Singapore for at least 2 years. And the second criteria is that you have to pass a national exam in Singapore. Example will be PSLE, GCE, A, and or O level. So if your child is here studying for a tertiary qualification and did not pass any national exam, the answer is no, unfortunately. So your child cannot apply for PR under the Foreign Student Scheme. So the solution will be after he graduates, he can get a work pass, S-Pass, EP or other work passes. Just excluding work permit, he can apply under the Professional, Technical Personnel and Skilled Worker schemes. And the second question is from BBIM0578. Now, to summarize the questions, they are applying for PR under the sponsored scheme and recently they have gotten their PR rejection after waiting for 1 year and 9 months. So the question is that why is the application rejected and can they do an appeal? Now, first thing first, for sure you're able to do an appeal within 6 months from the date of rejections, but you have to show that your profile has some changes before you attempt these appeal applications. In regards to why the application has been rejected, it's a bit hard for us to pinpoint as we did not handle your application. But the most commonly seen rejection reason could be incomplete documentation or insufficient documents as well. If you wish to find out more, you can actually schedule a one-to-one consultation with our consultant. You can even bring your previous application for us to take a look so we can see what could have been fundamentally wrong with your previous application. Now the next question is from Alice Mukuru1112. The question is, does Singapore support family immigration? I'm coming by the way and I'll need your services. Well, definitely Singapore support the whole migration for the family. In fact, there are passes that family members can apply, such as dependent pass. So if you are a spouse or unmarried child below 21 years old of a work pass holder who earns a minimally $6,000 of salary a month, you can actually get a dependent pass and live here in Singapore. And later on, you can apply for permanent residency together as a family. The next question is by Kuya Alam. The question is, could S-Pass holder apply for LTVP on his husband? Yes, very similar to what I've answered previously. Regardless if you're an S-Pass holder or EP holder, as long as your monthly salary is 6,000 and above, you can apply a dependent pass for your spouse. So it is called a dependent pass and not a long-term visit pass. Now next question is by Yasanter4774. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. So apparently the question is, what is the educational qualification to get a PR in Singapore? Well, to get a PR in Singapore, there are many factors that will influence the success of an application, and educational qualification is only one of the many factors. So it is not a deciding factors. We strongly encourage clients to have at least a tertiary qualification when applying for PR because this will add brownie points to the application. But that being said, we have seen people with low educational level, but they are really good in other areas to successfully get their PR as well. And the next question is from this viewer. She got married in Singapore Jan this year, and she applied for pre-marriage long-term visit pass assessment December last year, and it was a rejection. So she's asking for advice. Now, we have to keep in mind is that PMLA and LTVP are two separate matters, and PMLA rejection, it's not guaranteed that your LTVP will be rejected as well, especially if there is a change in the circumstances. As an example, during the PMLA application, if the sponsor is not working and later on manage to secure a job, you guys can definitely go ahead and file the LTVP application because there has been a change in the circumstances. So all in all, it means that, these two are standalone matters and not tied to each other. And the next question is from Ravi Shankar 7580. So he's asking about Compass framework because his salary is less than 65 percentile for financial sectors. So he's asking if he still qualify for EP if he gets a 40 points. Yes, you'll be able to apply for your EP. In fact, your EP will most probably be granted in principle approval if you can get 40 points in the Compass framework. If you can score 10 points in terms of your salary, which is meeting the expectation, but you score 30 points for the rest of the criteria, which inclusive of nationality diversity and support for local employment from company perspective and qualification from your own background, you're still able to get your EP approved. Next up from Violet 5695. So her situation is like this. She got her PR in year 2020 and been working in Singapore since. REP is due for renewal in year 2025, and lately she has an opportunity to work overseas this year, which is second half of 2024. So she's afraid that if she takes on a new role, she won't be residing and working in Singapore when the REP is due for renewal. So based on her case, it's likely that she will spend 3.5 years out of 5 years in Singapore, and if she contributes CPF continuously for the next 1.5 years when she's away, she's asking what is her chances to get the 5 years of REP. Now, during the renewal process, ICA will ask for two very critical questions. The first one is, are you currently residing in Singapore? And are you currently working in Singapore? And you have to provide your employment details such as which company, position, and salary. So based on our experience is that if the applicants are not able to check both boxes, which means they are not residing and not working, there is a huge possibility that you will get your REP rejected. So for your case, besides the volunteer CPF that you continuously doing, we also recommend you to at least, perhaps you can start a company in Singapore and run the company and continuously pay yourself a salary so that you can continue your income tax contributions in order to keep your REP renewal. The next question from this viewer is that the mother is a Singaporean, is born in Malaysia, and he's 34 years old this year. Can he apply for a long-term visit pass? Now, if you cross 21 years old, you're considered an adult already in Singapore and you cannot get any pass sponsored by your parents. So if you wish to apply for PR in the future, you need to at least maybe get an employment pass or S-pass working in Singapore, and you have to go through another way, which is not the sponsored way. The next question is from this viewer who has a really interesting name. I'm going to try to pronounce it. Hamuuja8688 is asking, what if the foreign country doesn't allow to renounce a citizenship? Can we get Singapore citizenship in this case? Well, unfortunately, you need to have a letter to certify that you have renounced your previous citizenship before you can proceed to apply for Singapore citizenship, to apply for Singapore passport. So the answer is no, unfortunately. The next question from this viewer is, may I ask if I can resign upon my submission for PR application? The answer is yes, you can resign, but you will need to have the next job lined up for you because you need to produce a valid work pass to complete the whole formalities upon successful outcome of your application. And you need to ensure that your next employer is able to help you to secure at least an S pass and above, because work permit holder is not eligible to apply for PR. Now the next question from this viewer is about how to upload additional supporting documents for their PR application, such as cover letter and volunteer work documentation, because there is no dedicated section through the online portal. Now, it's not about how and where to upload, but most importantly, it's what you are uploading to ICA to boost your chances for approval. Now, at the Immigration People, we are very transparent with our system and processes. We allow our client to sit in to watch the whole submission process. We're putting in a lot of effort to build a personalized cover letter for our client, and we will definitely upload into the system. This is the reason why we are able to increase your chances of PR approval. And the last question is from Boston Tracy 5151. Now here's a shout out to you, because I know that you have been watching a lot of our video and you have given a lot of good comments and questions as well, and thanks for that. Now, it's rather a long question, but to summarize is that Boston Tracy is asking if dual citizenship is allowed in Singapore, any exception case for this, and can the wife who's holding on to Malaysian citizen continuously holding on to the citizenship in Malaysia and Singapore at the same time. Now, yes, we used to be one, but Malaysia and Singapore right now is two different countries, and unfortunately, dual citizenship is not allowed at all, and there's no exception. So in order for your wife to attain Singapore citizenship, she has to renounce her Malaysian citizenship. Well, that's a lot of questions, but I love it. Now, of course, today we are just scratching on the surface because every profile is unique. And if you wish to find out about what is the best documentation for your profile and what is the best path moving forward and when to apply, you should totally speak to a professional immigration consultant like the Immigration People. And that's all for today's episode. If you have any question pertaining to Singapore immigration matters, you can visit our website at tip.com.sg. Like, share and subscribe if you have not done so, and leave your questions in the comments box below. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.